Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to show you guys. Actually, it won't be short or little. This is half of the knives that Kizer sent me this round. Too many for one unboxing, so this will be a two-parter. This is part one. Just unboxing and first impressions today. This is not a review in any way, shape, or form. These are all new Kizer products. By the time you're seeing this, it means they're either available or they will be available very, very soon. So I will link Kizer's website and all of the new arrivals down in the description so that you can immediately see everything that's new just with one click. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's entirely up to you. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Thanks to Kizer for sending all this stuff in. I think we should, as is tradition with Kizer unboxings, let's start with the fixed blade. So we have the Billy Bones, the AEBL, and then it says black PVD coating and stone washed with a G10 handle. So presumably a fairly inexpensive fixed blade. Sometimes the pricing is a little arbitrary, but we'll see, right? Pretty standard looking fixed blade. It's got a ring on the back of it so you can combat with it. Sorry about that. You're seeing an edit there because sometimes, despite having done this now for over 8 years, I forget that the things that I'm dealing with are sharp. This cut just healed, and just now I sliced my thumb on this. I was holding it and trying to drag it out of the package, and you can see I cut it. The edge went right through there. So, stupid on my part. But anyways, back to the unboxing here. So this is the Billy Bones. Pretty straightforward. Looks like a fairly robust kind of outdoorsy. I don't know. The ring always makes me think, okay, this is combat oriented. Who knows, right? Not something that I, usually review, but I will actually, I'll still share it with you guys here. Do we have pricing? This is April 1st. So you're releasing these on April Fool's Day. Interesting. All right. It doesn't actually have any pricing on it. 4 ounces G10, blah, blah, blah. Maxim Epifant. Here's the designer. I don't want to mess up his name. I'm sorry. It says, please post content after launching date. We'll see. I'm going to be real with you. To both Kizer and everybody who's viewing. It really depends on when I can do it. If I have time in my schedule to do it after, then I will. If I want to do it before, then I'm also probably going to. That's just how it's gonna work. I'm sorry, the schedule is too jam-packed for me to every single request, right? I'll do as many as I can, right? But sometimes it's hard to do the after thing. It looks like there's a sheath in here, okay? So there you go. I'll remember that. That one got me. Usually don't forget the knives that cut you. Let's see here. Let's do this little tiny guy next. The Snail-trail. This is Caleb Waldman, and this one's an M390 in aluminum. So, but it's a little guy, so probably not going to be too expensive. That little piece of paper is pointless if it doesn't actually show, if it doesn't show the pricing. Oh, it's a little bitty. Sometimes knives are so tiny that they're just fun. I'm going to let that flop out of there because it looks like there's a blade. Yeah, so there's an exposed blade. Oh, that's kind of cool, though. It's a little... So it's a... Does it lock? No. So it's a double detent, little coin claw. Okay, so... the coin claw, the original design of the coin claw was Sergei Panchenko, but this is different. This is not a frame lock, or it's actually was the coin claw, did it lock? It was a little different. It actually unfolded. This runs on that thing that makes me think of like the Fox, where you push down, actually you don't have to push down. You can just push forward or backwards, but this will work. I mean, for just like opening up a little package. This is the kind of thing that actually would be like basically office appropriate, right? And it's kind of fun. It's kind of fidgety. I actually think that this is really neat. In fact, this will probably get a lot of attention. Is that a Timascus pivot collar? What? Hold on. So, thumbs, it's double slip joint. It doesn't actually say, that really does though. Look at the picture. I don't think that's lightning anno. I think that's actually Timascus. So they're all aluminum and they're all M390, which hardly matters at this blade size. But thick little thing there. But I mean, it will work. Oh yeah, like for just like cutting into a package, like absolutely. That's kind of cool. Can I front zip it? Can I front flip it? Oop, up, up. You totally can deploy it like this if you want to, but I would say it's easier to do this, right? But you totally can. That is pretty cool. I like that. I think that's fun. People like the little tiny kind of like oddball shape, not just small pocket knife, but things that are not shaped traditionally like pocket knives, but have a blade on them, right? This is very cool. Oop, I've just about cut myself again there. But yeah, I think that's neat. Assuming that this does not have an outrageous price tag on it, I think people will really enjoy that. That is a really fun one. I like that a lot. Okay. We have, I'm going to do these first. This is the Buddy 2 in AEBL, and it has the clutch lock. We have enough clutch locks, but we'll take a look. Kizer Buddy 2. I vaguely remember the Buddy 1. I don't review every single Kizer knife that's sent to me for obvious reasons. My channel would be Metal Complex Reviews Kizer Knives and Other Things sometimes. That would be my channel, right? So I review the stuff that I like. All right. So it's got the dog paw. I remember there being some sort of, theme with that in the Buddy, right? And it's got the see-through handles and it's otherwise very straightforward. There is really nothing else to say about that knife. It's the same thing exactly that's slightly different. It works fine, right? If you like this, that's fine. There's a million other things on the market that are exactly like it. This next one here, we have the Renaissance. This is an does that say N690? Yeah, okay. N690, and this is Caleb Waldman as well. Nothing against the designer of this one, by the way, and nothing against Kizer for releasing it. There are plenty of people who will enjoy it. There's just not really much there for me. Okay, we got something a little more interesting in my opinion here. Yes. The Renaissance. We have another option. Finally, we are getting to this point now. Kizer has jumped on board with the button-operated top liner lock trend. We are here. We have kind of almost like an old school looking pocket knife, but you have that half moon. I love Kizer's half moon button for the button-operated top liner lock. Yes, this absolutely is different than a button lock. I am pushing for the button locks to be phased out slowly. We don't need to eliminate them completely from the industry, but we need to transition from buttons that are plunge locks to buttons that operate a top liner lock. Specifically, if this is built the same way as Kizer's other ones, these top liner locks are actually sandwiched if it's, like we recently looked at, for example, Kizer's Sheepdog, this is one of the best budget top liner locks on the market, right? This pin is sandwiched. The lock bar is sandwiched between the lock face and the stop pin. Very similar to a Spyderco compression lock. I don't know if it's exactly the same, but that's an additional point of contact. That makes, Kizer's versions of these are really good. That's very, very good. I like this a lot. N690, okay, fine, whatever. Maybe it's available in a couple of different steels. I don't know. I do like the knife, though. These are all N690, but you have a few different options. So the blue one looks nice. I like that a lot. That's cool. I like that. That'll go over. I think that'll go over pretty well. Very popular. And it's nice for people to, as much as I love Vosteed, it's nice that people have options for knives that are the same type of reliability, the same type of ease of manipulation as, for example, the Porcupine and the Raccoon. That's great. That those exist, but we need, it's nice that Kizer is giving people more options. Definitely. Okay, now we've done this one, we've done this one, so now we just have these two left, and these two here are premium. So let's do this one first. This is the T1. Boy, that takes me back, the T1. So they're bringing back the Kizer T1, I guess. One of the first knives that I ever remember seeing from Kizer was the T1. This is heavy. So this guy's an LMAC. Oh, button-operated top liner lock premium. Oh, yes. Oh, that will do. This will be very popular. Oh, goodness. Okay, here we go with the copper wash LMAX. Oh, I love this. I love this. This will go over very well. Full titanium, button top liner, LMAX. Copper wash, that is nice. Look at that. Nice and reflective. Not the matte finish, but a nice reflective finish there. So cool. Looks like a little bit of maybe some tumbling on top. Or is it just like debris? Yeah, this has been tumbled. So it's like a tumbled copper wash. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's a good knife. Oh, that's cool. People are going to like that. And you know, we got the steel clip, steel internals. I bet that's a reasonable price tag. I bet Kizer comes in under 200 on that guy. Yeah, that's pretty neat. That's a big W for Kizer. Now we have another one here, the T1 CD. The first one was the T1 something else D, BD, T1 BD. This is T1 CD, and we have titanium and M390. Still need more data testing on Kizer all the way around, but let's see. And I'll get out the piece of paper. Oh, okay. So this has the clutch lock. One has the clutch lock, and one has the top liner lock. Okay. So the M391 has the clutch lock. Kizer, I got some advice. You want to make the clutch lock more interesting? Integrate a coil spring. You can easily do this. This is fine, right? But we have a C, and there's still a market for crossbar lock knives, and the reason is because it's an ambidextrous locking system. And Kizer tends to be like pretty good. Like their Omega springs, I don't hear, you know, about Kizer's Omega springs breaking too often. I mean, they still can. And here's the other thing. It probably comes with extras. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. Does it? It says. What's in here? Yeah. So we got it. It comes with extras, right? That's good. But you know what you guys could do to where you don't have to put extra hardware in the box is just upgrade to a coil spring clutch lock. You guys do that, and then you have an opportunity to, you know, update so many of your popular models that are sitting there in, you know, clutch lock. And, you know, probably I can guess, right? If they have tons of products sitting around, you know, the stuff that's at retailers, like the retailer has already presumably purchased it from Kizer. But perhaps Kizer, who sells off their own website, has tons and tons and tons of models sitting around with clutch locks. So they sit there, they go unsold, and then they upgrade. They do like a coil spring, and all of a sudden there's massive demand for their coil spring models. What's the purpose of buying their Omega Spring models unless somebody is just like an Omega Spring enthusiast? So perhaps that's why we haven't seen like such a big push, right? Is that they probably still want to try and sell things that are sitting there. But I can tell you that between these two, the one that's the most interesting by far is this guy here. In fact, the three most interesting knives to come out of this unboxing are these three right here. The coin thing, the budget top liner lock model, and the Kizer T1 with the full tie and the top liner. Like, this is awesome. What an awesome knife, for sure. So, very cool stuff from Kizer coming out. these three will absolutely get reviews. Like these three right here. I don't know that I care. Like, I mean, like I can talk about this one, but like the videos will be focused on these three knives here because these are the ones I'm interested in actually carrying and using. So that's going to be it today, guys. I've got everything. Watch out for part 2, which should be this following Monday. I believe you're watching this on a Friday right now, most likely. So you'll see part 2 on Monday. But that's going to be it. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like. So check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.